The Central Club.
What's going on, people? It's Callum from the Central Club podcast. This episode is brought to you by Re-Inspire Printing, Weekend Defender, and Apple Camping. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Please do us a favor, subscribe to the club. It really, really helps us, and it gives you a notification to let you know when we have come on again. So, we're back again. What's happening, Benj?
What's happening? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
How was your Christmas?
It was really nice. Really, really nice. Spent it up in the northeast.
Nice.
Spent New Year's there as well. It was chill, bro. I didn't even drink that much. Like, I was surprised how much I drank.
A nice mellow one.
Very mellow. How was yours?
Mine was good. My missus was really poorly over Christmas, so
Yeah,
I ended up making dinner. Just me and my daughter had dinner together, but that was nice as well. But yeah, it was a good Christmas. I've actually got something for you.
I'm sure.
This is a little present.
I swear.
This is
Got me a present, man.
Yeah. I make my own wine.
Oh, do you know what, bro? I've seen this on your page, man.
The Bacchus Wild.
What's it called?
It's called the Bacchus Wild Chateau de Shaftesbury.
And where did the name come from, bro? That's mad.
So Bacchus was a god of wine and debauchery, and obviously Benji Wild. So it's the Bacchus Wild, the B Wild, the Chateau de Shaftesbury. I live in Shaftesbury, it is. So
Yeah.
So I've been making that. I made a
Chateau de Shaftesbury.
But that's a bottle for you,
Bro, thank you, man. I really appreciate that, bro. No, it's really nice.
I will warn you, it's pretty potent, man. So
is it strong?
Yeah. Drink it gently.
Wow. And it's, look, I love the Welsh and Jamaican flag.
Yeah.
Obviously for your heritage. No, thank you, bro. I feel a bit left out now that I haven't got you anything. But yeah, man. No, thank you. Mate, how's it been, bro?
It's good. Well, I mean, since we last spoke, obviously, we had really good feedback for that podcast.
Yeah.
And I was really pleased that a lot of people had said, to bring me back on, and they liked the dynamic with you and I chatting. So that was really encouraging. But I guess we were really planning to talk about the topic we first talked about, except for there were a few people that went on to make their own sort of reviews of our review of a review. Yeah, and said some really negative things about you and me, and just the podcast, and just really slating. Like, and I thought, it's immature of them to do that. We just came to contribute our opinions and just have a conversation on camera rather than what we were doing over the phone, like, or just sharing ideas. Nobody's got the answers, sadly. Nobody's been able to solve the case or find justice, sadly. So what are we doing that's any lesser than what they're doing?
I couldn't have put it any better, mate, to be honest. And I don't really want to stay on this topic too much because, that was all we were going to do, is the one thing, and move on. But yeah, there was a lot of things said. But first of all, I do want to say a big shout out to everyone who reached out. I have had so many emails, bro. I've sent you some of them.
Yeah, some positive, really positive.
Well, I never had one negative email. I've had no negativity apart from, I'd say, the two people who were making videos and their kind of little followers or bots, let's say.
I did say that I didn't really want to mention their names and think, but I got a poem about them.
What?
I got a poem.
Shut up. Oh my God, Benji, bro.
Do you mind? It's a bit childish. I ain't gonna lie.
Fuck it.
These guys have called me and called you some horrible things, and I just thought, since they're being childish,
they can have a field day with this.
Yeah, if they want to review the poem, then carry on.
Review the poem.
I got time. So I call this one "Angry Duncan and His 1-Inch Truncheon." Angry Duncan and his 1-inch truncheon called me a charlatan. What a buffoon. He's all bark with a twig for the sword. His ego's huge, but his goods are bored. Then there's Jan with her YouTube spree. She called me cute, but her words were pure pee. She's all sugar and spice with a venomous twist. Her compliments are hollow, whilst her insults persist. So when Duncan swings his 1-inch might and Jan with her words ready to incite, we'll laugh at their antics and their attempts so dumb, for Duncan so small and Jan so glum. So here's to Duncan, the angry little man with his micro truncheon who thinks that he can insult and belittle, but we all know the score is Tiny Tools, the punchline, forevermore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I want to say about them too, because they said some heinous things about you and some nasty things about me. Call me a charlatan. Call us charlatans. We are now. We should call ourselves the Cardiff charlatans.
We're the Cardiff charlatans to them anyway.
Welcome to the Charlatan Club.
Well, it's actually funny because we are totally entitled, like anybody else is, to have an opinion on this case. The fact that I interviewed Abe, I felt I had entitlement to speak on how that came about.
Absolutely. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You know, maybe both of us made some hypotheses about things that we thought that weren't factual, but every single person that covers this case they don't have any further facts than the very few facts that we do have, and they're either regurgitating the same facts or they're saying, in my opinion, da 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 da, allegedly, da 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 da. Well, okay, cool. That's the same thing that everyone's doing. Ultimately, we all have the same common goal, and that is that we don't believe that justice is being served, and we want justice.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You know, I think there's no harm in what we did.
100%.
I'm proud of us for.
Well, there was one thing that chap did say, and it was basically, it was a comment that I seen about you when he was just calling us out that, you know nothing about this case. You have no right to speak. And I'm like, what right does he have?
Yeah.
And it's very strange that he calls me and you and Central Club how we have no credibility because of our experience as criminals or drug addicts. But in the world that I know, lived experience, lived experience is everything. If there's anybody who should speak on crime, it's people who have been there.
Yeah.
If look at Catch Me If You Can. If Leonardo DiCaprio, the fraudster, ends up helping the frauds.
Yeah. I forgot the guy's name now.
Yeah, but that's the whole idea. It's not the translator who does that.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And the thing that's very red flaggy, and this is all I'm going to say about it, is just this man. Like really and truly, like this man he did not have a channel before the Jay Slater case.
Yeah.
All his content is based on this innocent lad who has lost his life.
Yeah.
He is making money off it. Like the fact he was saying words, so is saying different words than the actual meaning, so his videos could be monetized, spoke volumes.
Yeah.
Spoke absolute volumes of what he's there to do.
Well, apparently his videos are not monetized, but that's irrelevant to me because one day he wants it to be, doesn't he? Otherwise, why is he doing it? The other thing is, we are not part of the case. We weren't there. We're not involved in what happened. We weren't there. But
apparently,
he still speaks. He speaks worse about you and I for having an opinion on it than he does about some of the people involved who were there, some of Jay Slater's friends, some of the people that haven't come forward and given their accounts. He speaks worse about us than them. I don't know why we made him so mad, but I hope that poem makes him madder. Madder. Angry Duncan with his 1-inch truncheon is how we will forever be known.
Well,
I think
we've done about 5 minutes, I'd say, on Duncan.
Yeah, nip it over.
He'd probably get about 6 reactions out of that. So let's just leave it there. Yeah, that's a bit too much. But what I want to do on this podcast is speak about other things.
Okay.
Because we did say if people like Benji, we'll bring him back and we'll do some other type of discussions. And I think the first thing I want to talk about is another missing persons case quickly.
Oh, yeah.
It's the John George case, or the John Hardy, as some people say. Yeah. What is your take on it, mate?
If I'm honest, I haven't really looked into it so much.
You haven't done your research, how dare you?
I know, I haven't done my research. I don't even know if I've got my own theory on what I think could be the case. I mean, clearly there's drugs involved. Duncan, I will give some credit. He does do some good work. And one point he made on this case that I noticed is, so far, I haven't seen anything that suggests that he's actually dead.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It seems likely, but this is where
his family are adamant, aren't they? They're
yeah.
It's.
What do you think about the whole point of people hearing gunshots in the area?
Well, was it fireworks? But it was the run up to Christmas. The fact that the police are questioning neighbours about specific dates.
Suggests that they have
they've got some sort of evidence that there was gunshots. And you showed me the thing about Duncan quickly. Last time I'm going to mention this guy, about the fact that he was actually on other, like that video. So I actually follow the Irish lady. She's a very good crime podcast.
Yes.
I love her.
Oh, I watched.
She interviewed the Irish guy. Irish lady.
Yeah.
And I thought she was speaking a lot of sense.
And I go to the comments, and he's cussing her. This woman doesn't know what she's on about.
No, he's very hard. You're a very hateful, bitter man.
Yeah, he
like,
is.
Like
a piece of work.
Just be more. Be kind.
And then he's saying about like some of Jay's. Oh, we're doing it again. But he's saying about some of Jay's. I know, innit? He's saying about some of Jay's friends and cussing them out and saying this. And they said, if you want to come and talk to me and give your side, then nobody will talk to somebody that's like that.
Well, he doesn't understand. And like when he said about you don't understand that life.
He's very
outdated. What do you mean? What do you mean? And it's like I'm not even going to give him the time of day.
No.
He
did rile me up over Christmas, though.
But he's made his mind up. So there's no point speaking to people like that. They are set in their ways, and unfortunately,
he's outdated.
Yeah, but the John George case, I do sadly think that he's passed. The way he was speaking days prior.
I think with that case, it seems a lot more likely that there will be a resolve,
because of it being mainland Spain and Tenerife. I don't know what difference.
I think maybe because there's the family is quite forward with their approach to getting some truth, and the communities back in Ireland, they seem to be quite quite bonded and quite strong in their approach, and I think that would lead to potentially loose lips and.
One difference I see in the two cases, I see the similarities, but I also see the difference. The similarities is the parents knowing that their kids are not angels.
What's going on, people? Really sorry to crash midway through this episode, but we've got an important announcement to make. As you know, from day one, we have been giving you exclusive content week in, week out. And we've even built 3 studios from scratch, which has been a bit of a graft, to be fair. Well, now we're asking for your help in return. We promise to give you exclusive content, behind the scenes footage, reaction videos, and documentaries if you really support us by signing up to our Patreon. The description is below. Stay central.
Debbie early on saying about how Jay was not an angel, and I warned him not to go out there and do this and do that. That video, that interview where it was clearly showing that she knows what her son's like. She had a bit of experience herself, and she warned him, and something went wrong.
She wasn't naive to the situation.
Yes. With this John George's father as well, he's openly admitted his son's not an angel. There's been drugs involved. With the Jay Slater case, Debbie, the family, they were hounded. They were ruined because of the life Jay had lived.
Yeah, but...
No,
yeah,
they were.
Absolutely.
He's a drug dealer, absolutely machete attack, bum, bum, bum. But with the John George, you're not seeing that.
Do you think... Okay, so one of the differences is, and I don't throw no shade at Jay Slater's family, but... they weren't, like, people were always saying that his mum wasn't very proactive and his friends were very proactive looking for him. They didn't seem to, like, rile up the troops and, like, get involved. Whereas with the John George case, people seem to be that way. His dad is very vocal, very public.
But wasn't Jay's father like that?
Jay's father definitely earned the hearts of the public for his approach to it, but he was a few days later to the scene, and there wasn't really much coverage of him on the news, and he's a much more mellowed out guy, and that's no fault of his, and that's, I sound bad saying that, like I'm saying that he should have done, or they should have done more. They did what I think they could, and I felt for them, but John George's family, they're very Irish, and they just different people, and I think that's potentially working in favor for that situation.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I have to disagree in terms of them being totally different, the fathers. I feel like the fathers are quite similar, like, you know, they loved their son, they wanted to know, and they're no strangers to that life. But in terms of the outer circle, or maybe inner circle, friends, family, there wasn't that outcry with Jay Slater. I agree. There wasn't. I've seen videos of these Irish families knocking doors, going to community centres, and I'm like, do you know what? Fair play.
Yeah.
But the thing that you see with this one is they're all in agreement that he's not here. We just want his body back. You know,
Sad.
that is horrible.
I can't imagine.
You know,
That is very sad.
it's so sad. And, you know, I hope that his family gets justice and they get their body back, their son's body back, if he is dead. We don't know that yet. And
Yeah.
we
Because at least Jay's family had that closure. They might not have all the answers, but they have his body, and that's some level of closure to be able to have a funeral for him. With this John George case, right now, they haven't got that same level of closure, and that's really
Well, they dropped off. Apparently, there was a radius of where the body might be. There was a tip off, and it was like literally the size of Wales, or you know, like.
Yeah. I mean, I actually, there's a guy who's on YouTube. He's a very angry man, but he also has been really pushing the last day or two about some lemon fields or something, and you know, at least he's contributing to making some sense of it, especially at a time like this where some change could be made, some discovery could be made, you could be useful. So in Jay Slater's case, other than finding who may have done it, even though the official narrative is that nobody did it, it was an accident.
Yeah.
If, you know, right now things could make a difference.
Yeah, I agree. I want to mention Ayub as well quickly. So I spoke to Ayub. I haven't spoke to him at all over Christmas. Spoke to him 2 days ago because you said to me that people in the comments were saying something about.
Did he call me a sausage?
Yeah, and you said that you was unsure if this is even him. You don't even know if this is genuine or people trolling.
Yeah.
Well, I got the messages off him, and he's basically said it is him who's done it. The thing that he's upset about was the fact that, okay, fair enough, you know, have your say on the case, but don't call in my outer personal doings, what I do out. Don't throw shade on me about other things I do. And
Okay, fair enough.
that was his thing.
Listen, it's not my place to be having opinions on anything as far as the person concerned is concerned, but I'm not the only person, and I think that I did a lot lesser job of assuming his life outside of the case than other people have done.
Yeah.
That's not what is really important to me in this. But he's entitled to say what he said. I'm not bothered.
I feel he's. I feel this, although he was cool with me on the phone, I feel like he wasn't happy with the reaction video. But he did say, "Look, I appreciate that you're doing your reaction video. I get it."
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he was totally happy. Even though though, you did back him. Do you still have the same opinion? Do you, from the reaction you done? Obviously, time's gone on. There hasn't been much other developments, but there has been a lot of talk from other people who have kind of had their say on our opinions. Are you still on the same opinion with the Jay Slater case?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nothing that I said. I really think I could go back on. That's still how I feel. And even though Aya made comments about me that were negative, I still think that he isn't the guy I first thought he was. Okay, he's not. He's clearly no angel, and you know, I could sit here now and slag him off because he called me a sausage and said a few things about me, but I'm not going to, because just because he's been negative about me doesn't change my principles on how I feel my opinion is on
It's
him.
the truth.
Yes,
It's your truth.
It's my truth. Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. It's my truth, and I'm allowed that.
Yeah. All right.
But I'm not bothered what he said. I'm not bothered what anybody really says.
Yeah.
You know, like, everybody's got an opinion. It's not the first person to say something nasty about me, whether it be true or not.
Yeah. And I respect you. I respect that. Appreciate that. Okay, then. Well, some of the things that's been going on over the last, well, it's been going on for
It's been an interesting week, bro. Did you see something I've been like wanted to know more about? Did you see about the Tesla that exploded outside Trump's hotel?
Yes.
What did you make of that?
Well, it was the same day as the other attack, wasn't it? The New Orleans terrorist attack. So people were tying that together straight away, weren't they?
And apparently there is a link, because apparently the people involved in both situations are ex-military that trained in the same camp, and also out of that same military camp is another man who, oh God, it slips me now, but there was a third person. 3 different people have come out of this one military camp.
What type of military?
It's an army base somewhere in America.
Well, so America.
A US Army.
So
yeah.
it's not a terrorist in terms of like the way they portrayed it, Muslim.
No.
ISIS.
But I think what I'm seeing online is that people are assuming that there's like an Islamic terrorist uprising from within the US military. But I think that there might be something tied in with those two situations. But the big thing for me is, and I saw online, a lot of people were saying that, oh, it's because Teslas are crap and the battery overheated and it exploded.
There were fireworks in the camp.
There were fireworks in there. It blew up like a bomb, and it was parked at the front door of Donald Trump's hotel.
Well, this is what I want to say on this. I think this has a higher meaning. I don't know if this is conspiratorial in terms of the elite, the Illuminati, or someone trying to muster up a conspiracy, or someone trying to cause division.
Speaking of Illuminati, I've been very careful how I place my hands this a bit, because last time people said that I was making all Illuminati order.
Actually, the funniest thing about it was when I was looking for a thumbnail, obviously we had Reese rather than Harrison. Harrison photos. So I took a screenshot, and the screenshot was with
But people on the internet are mad.
Yeah.
They are mad.
Well, it's dead wax. Where's your dead?
Oh, I had to change my hat
I
as well.
cannot believe that.
Okay, just to explain that, it had nothing to do with anything other than I recently did a song with a band from Leeds who are called Deadwax.
Yeah.
And they gave me some of their merch. And, you know, when I came down, I just had my scruffy hoodie on and my hat. I was just, I didn't think twice about it. But people on the internet are wild. Some of the theories, some of the accusations, some of the things people say are just nuts.
But this perspective that I now have makes me think how, you know, when celebrities go, oh, it's crazy, these conspiracies are crazy, and you're like, no, you're part of something.
Yeah.
I actually see their perspective, because we're seeing just a tiny snippet of it, and we're not even famous.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
like
crazy.
you do that. I shouldn't have even done it, man. I shouldn't have even done it. But if
I could have the
I know,
screenshot.
you could be a celebrity.
Like a screenshot. That's the thumbnail.
You could be a celebrity. You could rub your eye on telly, and next thing oh my God, he's Illuminati confirmed. It's like, man, you know, there is a lot of.
Do you know what's funny? And people are probably, I'm sure the detectives out there will tie this as a hidden meaning now, because Ayub said in his podcast about the see no evil, hear no evil, and he said that no, there was a video, man, and someone just screenshotted that and made up. People are now going to say that because you're explaining this in the video. Nah, this is a link, bro.
Yeah.
We can't. We're trying to get away from this case. But keep dragging us back.
When somebody said to me, "Oh, Ayub is slagging you off, calling you a sausage," you should,
the missus buys you the holidays,
and I was like, I was sat there, and I was like, hang on a minute, I'm reading. I don't want to say it. I'm reading, people cussing me, saying that I'm teamed up with Ayub, I'm paid by Ayub, whilst I'm now discovering that Ayub slagged me off.
But that's classic. Like people who you're saying this as a point. It's not a point, because a lot of people would say, yeah, it's a fake beef. This is your way of playing it. But you were beefing on purpose.
Oh, right, so now
the reverse psychology of the reverse psychology.
I'm not beefing with Ayub. I don't know him, and I'm gonna stop talking about the case, because clearly it's done very little in the way. You know, we did say we're gonna come here and talk.
We have done very little, and people slate me for the podcast I've done. But like you made that point, before that, it was done. People were not even talking about it, really.
Yeah.
That podcast did bring a lot of conversation. It did bring the 2 fresh videos, whether there was nothing or not.
Yeah.
It did. And people have been deciphering that podcast for weeks. So whatever people want to say, Ayub actually did speak on it. So we did bring something.
You're the only person, though, bro, and I've said this before, I said it, say it again. You're the only person in the last couple of months that has brought anything that's new and valuable. Like, first it was it's the interview and the 2 videos. Whether people want to say they're fake or they're this,
or they're shit.
It's
2 hours of waffle. Okay.
No, but like, you know, the video
of
Rocky in the car sleeping. Somebody said, oh, that's probably a voiceover. They probably filmed that and put another audio over the top. you just can't win. But anyway, we did our bit. We wanted to bring some attention to it. We wanted to, get people thinking again. That we did.
But like, yeah, we didn't someone say about that's them two done with now. They're mate. If I want to talk about it again, I will.
I will,
and I might.
It was the
You'll
angry
never
guy.
know.
It was the angry guy. He said that last good riddance to Benji and Cullen. I'm sure that'll be the last we're hearing them. Well, you're wrong. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here, and I've got time, lots of time. Duncan, angry Duncan, with your 1-inch truncheon. But anyway, Elon Musk's Tesla.
So let me finish with that, bro.
Yeah, go on.
Just like,
I know. Okay,
you
you know what? In a minute, you're going to tell me to hurry up.
do you know what? Last week he was telling me, last time he was like, you cut me off a few times. I was like, I'm sorry. But I won't do it this time. You're doing it to me, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Right, bro. So, have you seen how the left and those who are anti-Trump, anti-Musk are saying and are wishing, clearly, these two are going to fall apart. Their egos are too big. They're going to clash. They are definitely going to fall out soon because they both can't handle.
I think it's fear, though, isn't it? Because they can see that Donald Trump and Elon Musk
together
is a force to be reckoned with.
And we might add in the old TRTR to that on the British contingency.
Oh, the Tommy Robinson stuff that's being said now.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
But let me just...
Go on. Yeah, I'm not allowed to cut you off.
Was you going to talk about what I was talking about? Right?
I don't know. You
Basically, I feel this is our conversation. It's not a podcast. This is a
go on.
reaction, or so we say.
To the latest information from the media.
There is, I feel that was a message, or what you call it? What do they call it when it's like predictive programming?
Right.
A Tesla. Something that Tesla, Musk has made, that's his property,
Elon
that's
Musk.
Trump's property.
Of course, there is a huge connection.
Yeah.
It's no accident. It's no accident that it's parked in the front doorway in the valet spot.
Oh my God, who blew up Trump's building? It was Musk's car.
He's like, see, I don't have an answer for what I think is the purpose or the message behind it, but you're right. There is a message behind it. Somebody tried to assassinate Donald Trump recently. This is dangerous times. I guess, the question is, for every coin, there's two sides. And when heads is up, tails is down. And sadly, right now, in America, the left feel down. They're very angry. They're very upset. They feel robbed. But they were outvoted. That's the whole point of democracy. And, in this country, what's funny is for a few years, Conservative were on the up. And then the last election, Labour won, and the left are like, yeah. And within a week, even the left are like, Keir Starmer, I can't stand him. And now the whole country doesn't have anybody to look to because the right is still saying, we still believe in conservative politics, but the left don't have anybody to look to. They just want to try and re-elect a new Labour. Listen, you had your chance.
I don't know, man. I think conservatives, like conservative views, but the Conservative Party, I think, are ruined.
Well, politics is a ruin, though, in Britain, in my opinion.
I truly believe that they need a Donald Trump style.
So you're for reform.
I'm not saying that this is the problem.
Do you see value?
If I have to vote in the next election out of the parties,
you have to.
I am voting reform.
Okay,
I'm voting reform. They're the only ones who actually are standing for the biggest problem in the UK right now, which is illegal migration. It is the biggest problem.
It is. I tread carefully around these topics because
bro, please don't.
I won't,
because it's people like you who
let me
speak
explain
up on it.
Let me explain.
Otherwise, it's just the white racists.
Let me explain myself. I tread carefully around these topics because the majority of people I've grown up around, and myself, have known nothing but Labour all our lives.
Yeah.
And in recent years, I've started to lose a bit of faith in Labour. I don't really know. I'm pretty down the middle with things, proper fence sitter. But I've lost a lot of faith in Labour.
Labour are not the same Labour it was 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 40 years ago.
Well,
they are
in my lifetime, when I look back, I've always thought Labour were good, but that's just because of what I've been brainwashed to believe.
Me too.
But the reality is, Labour from Tony Blair and like our generation, they've been assholes.
I think there's been like 3 Labour leaders who actually were working men.
Yeah.
None of them have worked.
Like, now that I'm on the spot, I'm struggling to think of the prime ministers that we've had over the years. But I don't like politics in that.
But
sense
unfortunately, it's massive, isn't it?
But you know what I would agree with you on? Reform, in somewhat, is a bit of a breath of fresh air.
It is, but for those out there who think that Nigel Farage is our Donald Trump, you are totally wrong. Donald Trump was a businessman who shook up the world of politics.
I think Donald Trump is way more credible.
Nigel Farage is someone who's always been a part of the establishment and has just bounced from one party to the other. After what I saw the other day of his words against Tommy Robinson, again, it was showing his ego. It was showing how spiteful he is, and he was showing.
Is this where he's basically shunned Tommy Robinson for? So Elon Musk tweeted saying Tommy Robinson and reform should be a thing, and Nigel Farage is like, we got nothing to do with him.
So this has been something from even the UKIP days. Nigel Farage left UKIP because of the Tommy Robinson connection.
Because he's too divisive, or because he genuinely thinks
I truly believe that he is jealous of him. Nigel Farage can't cope with having Tommy by his side because I feel big egos.
Today, right? While I was on my way here, Elon Musk's dad went on TV and said that if you look at the patterns of history, then the future of British politics would suggest that Tommy Robinson will be our future prime minister.
Wow.
And that's a scary thought. Unless it's not a scary thought, but it's a wild thought. It's one I don't think I ever really considered before, and many people are going to be like, "That's terrible."
I never thought he would be. I never thought.
But I could see in this climate currently how it could possibly happen.
Listen, right? We all know, right, that Tommy is a name that just scares everyone. We know that from the way he has been portrayed, the way he has been manipulated in the media. Okay, now I had my preconceived opinions of Tommy Robinson before I met him. I thought he was a far-right racist. When I met the guy, I realised that was a load of bollocks. He is not far-right and he is not a racist. However, he does have concerns and issues with Islam. That's a fact, and he will openly admit that. I don't know any racists who deny they're racist. I just don't. Like, any racist that I know are openly, blatantly racist.
Yeah, they're pretty proud a bit of it.
I don't know any racists who has black friends or Indian friends or any friends that are not of your race. I just don't know anyone who is.
Well, I don't know that that's true, though, because...
But I don't know any.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But it wouldn't be hard to imagine that somebody could be a racist, but, tailor themselves or only put in, or always make their racist joke. I'm only joking, bro. You know, like,
it's the same as saying you're a fat twat. I'm only joking, bro. Like,
yeah, but it's
I truly don't think they actually hate.
But it is different when
people.
we're talking about racism and we're talking about cultural diversity. It is different because if you do have a superiority complex and you have friends around you that are of different nationalities or races.
But I don't think he has that.
You don't necessarily have to be shunning them. In fact, it makes you look better if you can accept them. I'm not racist. I got black friends. I don't necessarily agree with you on that.
No, but so okay, Tommy Robinson's daughter was with a black person. I'm sure if he was racist, he was saying, "Tell that to get away from me."
Tell her what?
Well, I'm telling you what
a
racist would say.
Yeah, I don't think Tommy Robinson is a racist, but
one of the first...
Listen, do you know what? I'm going to be...
Let me just say, though, first thing you go on the podcast. Growing up in Luton, we didn't have racial problems. We had religious problems.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Maltese friends, Jamaican friends, African friends, we all stuck together.
He's openly said he has an issue with Islam.
Yeah.
And I've listened to interviews, I've listened to him speak, I've given him a fair crack in the whip, and I don't think that he's a terrible person. I don't know that I agree with him on everything, but he does say that.
I don't agree with him on everything.
No, and that's fine.
Like, he thinks like
he's not a racist,
bad,
but he does have an issue with Islam. Is there certain issues within the Islamic community? Yes. Of course there are.
I'm saying that.
But there are in Christian.
But this is what we're always doing. I think this is the problem that it's the same with the grooming gang thing. Now, for example, I've had a conversation with someone today The topic right now is grooming gangs. That is something that was a fact, was covered up, yeah?
Yeah.
And all these other people seem to want to do is say, yeah, but there's also white pedophiles. Yes, we know. We know. We have predator pages. Every time I go on my phone, there's a random northern clique of white lads who are stinging pedophiles. It's a known thing.
Tommy's point,
But
which is
it's
a
like-
fair point, is that in their teachings, they have certain things that sort
But
of
surely when you want to sort your own problems out before you sort anyone else's, and if you're going to moan about your own problems, you know what? So
How do you mean?
Right. So you have British people, yeah, okay. Whether that's a black British person, a white British person, an Asian British. If you identify as British or you were born here and you class yourself,
Yeah.
some third, fourth generation Pakistani men, like Tommy says, don't identify as British. They don't.
And I think that is an issue because it's not striving for inclusion and to make a
Yes.
multi-racial environment that is divisive and segregation.
No, adding to the illegal migration problem, yeah, so now you will see a lot of, on Twitter, for example, you'll see people who post up, is this another engineer or a doctor? And you'll see an illegal migrant.
Yeah.
He could be African, he could be from the Middle East, attacking someone, yeah, right? And people will counter-argument this and go, well, yeah, well, we got people here who are criminals. And you're like, well, you're missing the point. We're bringing more in. We need to tackle our own problems. The same with the paedophiles. Yes, they're white nonsense. Let's attack them first. Not attack. Let's tackle them. No, listen.
No,
Because
hitting me up by it.
Right. Listen. We know we have white paedophiles. We know we have white British grooming gangs. And that's a problem we need to tackle first before we integrate another load of people who are doing this.
May I
fix your own gangs?
say something on your podcast, Callum? Right. On my mother's side, Greek and Irish immigrants.
Okay.
My father's side, Jamaican immigrants.
Yeah.
Legal immigrants. They were all both sides
The
fought for the
backbone of this society.
Yeah, my Jamaican family were invited here to work, and my Greek and Irish family, they fought in the war
That's
for
my
Britain.
family of Greek and
You know,
come over from.
Yeah, they fought for Britain in the war. They were immigrants, but if you are an illegal migrant, you should not be here.
You're a criminal.
You're a criminal.
Yeah.
You are illegally
But
here.
no.
You should not be here. And I do think there's something drastic needs to be done about that because, and
They're all male, bro. It's a fact, bro.
yeah, I do agree on.
So I've seen a video.
Do.
It was a video of my missus. My missus was against it, right? Yeah, right. Or like didn't want to talk about it. Yeah, right. She knows it's a problem. She went, Carl, I've just gone down this massive rabbit hole with a hotel around the corner from me. Only until it hits people's doorsteps do they really start to look into it. This hotel, right? Yeah, this guy was exposing. He said, please don't bother us attack. This is women and children, refugees. Please. Well, the guy's gone in there. There is not one woman and children. So they're even lying now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The bottom line is with this whole problem with migration, Kaz Clark put it best. Women and children flee war, men go to war. There are no women and children coming, but there are a lot of men. So what is that telling you?
I mean, I can't. There's no way I and anybody else should be arguing against that point. If you're illegally migrating, then I always thought, naturally, before this all became a thing, I naturally thought that if you illegally migrated somewhere, you would be deported. Just
Yeah, but there's a guy called Keir Starmer who writ the Bill of Human Rights to now say, no, they can't go back to their country as their human rights. He's gay, he's Christian, he will be persecuted. He's the guy who writ this thing with Keir Starmer. He's a...
because I did come now and learn as well as to...
Keir Starmer has never brought anything... He got rid of the death penalty in Jamaica. Jamaica now has the highest murder rate.
In a bit, we talk about Jamaica. Top of Ice Cartel.
Yeah, we will, bro. We will. Well, we can in a minute anyway, right? I just want to wrap this up, basically. My opinion on Nigel Farage with the whole point of Tommy Robinson. Now, yes, Tommy Robinson is, if you're trying to get into power, Tommy Robinson right now is not the way forward in terms of wanting all the people to come together and then decide and say, this is someone I can get behind. Because not everyone are going to get behind.
Have you thought about it like this? I think that Reform is a Trojan horse.
I know they are.
Yeah, they roll in with all the good guys, and then as soon as they're in the position of power, bust open Tommy Robinson.
No. I think
Do you know what I mean?
no,
People won't
no.
vote for them necessarily.
No, I don't think that, because I feel all he had to do was just disown him. Yeah, no. When he's not done that, he's twisted the knife. He is literally twisting the knife, calling him a criminal and calling these things. He is jeopardizing it. No, because if he was a Trojan horse, he'd still keep the backing of Tommy's supporters. All of Tommy's supporters are against Nigel Farage now because of this. Not all of them, but a majority. I think. Do you know what I think reform is?
What?
I think reform are lip service for the British patriots. Don't worry, don't kick off, because we have reform now to save the day. And reform are just the same as every other party, I think. I think they are just lip service to us to keep us there for another couple of years, until it comes.
If you want to go
They're
deeper,
going to be the same.
if you want to go deeper, every single politician and every single political party is lip service. There's always a puppet masters pulling strings of politics. But, we can't talk about the shadows. We can only talk about what's here in front of us. Do you know what I'm saying, though? Like, I get what
I
you
agree.
mean.
I agree. But then, it's the lesser of all evils, isn't it? Do you want the mob boss, or do you want the real evil?
But then what you're saying is, if reform actually became in power, then they wouldn't actually follow through on their promises, like Labour don't.
I just think that the reform leaders we have in right now, they're not for the British working class. They're out of touch. The fact that they're labeling, he's a criminal, he's been to jail. That's not understanding the working class. How many of us who are working class understand about rehabilitation?
That's very angry Duncan of them.
Exactly. Like, I'm sorry, but people have got... The thing is, I went on to GB News. I went on to talk about shoplifting. The great Patrick Christie's that everyone talks about, yeah, right? I thought that he would have understood and respected the fact that I was a drug addict who turned his life around and is now helping others to do the same thing. I thought he would champion that. It was rather looking at me like, you're a criminal. He didn't really see that people like that, right? Those, and they're Tories, really. They don't see the difference between a shoplifter, a drug addict, and a drunken brawler, to a murderer, a rapist, and a terrorist. They all put us in the same category. You're a criminal, bottom line. They don't see any difference.
Well, it's like with Donald Trump. He's got a criminal record, a conviction, and some people believe he shouldn't be able to be the president. But for all through history, powerful politicians and officials have had criminal records. Yeah. But there are people that genuinely think once you've committed a crime, then, you're done in society. But I still have the right to vote, and I still have the obligation to vote. So it's important that my voice is heard, or your voice is heard,
But why would you want to vote if you're telling me that it's all lip service and it doesn't matter?
I think it's vital that people vote.
I do as well. I think you should just engage.
It was you that said it was lip service, not me.
No, you said that if you want to go deeper, I said reform might be lip service. You said if you want to go deeper, all politicians are. This is an argument that I have with people.
Well, I answered your question because I said you should vote regardless. You can't go basing your opinions on the Illuminati shadow world. You have to focus on what is officially there in front of you. And you have to take a bit of faith with that. It's like soldiers go to war for their country, and they do that with the best intention. Yeah. They know deep down that the war they're fighting is not necessarily for the interest of their country. I agree. So you have to go with a bit of faith. Otherwise, what are we here for? What do we have to believe in? What structure is there for people to wake up in the morning? Why have a job? Why do anything? You have to have some faith.
Being Wales' biggest podcast means only one thing. We need to be sponsored by Wales' biggest clothing brand, Weekend Offender. They've been in the game for well over a decade now, and they still hold weight within the casual scene. So if you want a deal on the hottest seasonal drops, then hit the discount code below at Stay Central.
I definitely agree, mate. But I just feel like people's faith has been in the wrong party now for way too long, and we do need to look elsewhere. I feel that the Labour government right now, this government in power,
But the Conservatives have been in power for like 9 years, haven't they? Or 7 years or something.
yeah, and they wasn't as good either. We need something new.
And that's why I did say I do think that I will at least look into reform.
So what they're doing is they have used Tommy Robinson as the martyr to their campaign. Everything their campaign is what Tommy has fought for, but all they say is he's a criminal, so we don't like him.
And I think
It's
that'll be the downfall of them.
It will be the downfall of him because they say, Richard Toy said it months ago, we had nothing to do with Tommy Robinson and that lot. Did he realise that lot are all your voters?
Reform are a new idea, and they've got some positives. Then nobody's going to impress everybody, but I do think that they're a breath of fresh air. Shunning Tommy Robinson, I do think will be the downfall of them. And it's interesting what Elon Musk's father said, that if you look at the history, the future looks likely that Tommy Robinson may one day be the Prime Minister of Britain. That if Reform treat him the way they are, that certainly won't be under the Reform Party. That'll be under a new party. But, good luck to him.
Yeah. Just me and you speaking and the way we've gone back and forth and is just a mirror of how our society is right now.
Of course.
It's a mess.
But you know what? What I do think is a bigger problem in our society is the people that aren't willing to do this, conversate and listen to other people's opinions.
Woke culture.
Woke culture is now the people that are locked into their own, or like
just cancelling.
Cancel culture, woke culture. They're so drilled in that their opinion is right and their view of the world is right that they don't learn and they don't have the power to put themselves in the position of other people that in different walks of life to get a broad understanding of what could change for the better. And I think that's really detrimental to our country and our society. I really do.
Yeah, no, I do as well. And I've had it
in my head. I was just thinking, I know you do all these like videos with the text over and the little clips. I'm thinking, oh God, what's gonna be coming out of this one? But yeah. When we did the last podcast, I get a notification on my phone. I'm like watching it. I'm like, oh look, I look like one of those podcasters. Why did he put that? But why did I say that? But no, it's good. It's good.
So what do you think of Tommy Robinson then?
I like him. I like his passion. I like his fury. I like his courage.
Yeah.
People would say, oh, you're a traitor. He's not for people like you. No, I think he is for people like me. Very much so. I'm black and I'm British. I'm proud of my Jamaican heritage, my Greek Cypriot heritage, my Irish heritage, but I am born and raised in Cardiff, Wales, Great Britain. And I think that it's great to see somebody standing up for us.
And that right there, my friend, is going to be the clip that goes on. That's what it's all about. And and if there's one thing I can say now, we could all unite right now in Britain. If we all stood together, Christian, Buddhist, Sikh, Muslim, Jews, if we all come together now and stood and said, illegal migration is wrong, it is out of hand, it needs to stop, and we need to have some serious conversations about some of the things going on in our society. If we stood up and said that, there would be less division. We would be together. But the thing is, I do truly believe there's a lot of people who are of mixed heritage and of different cultures who are ambiguous to it. They're sitting on the fence. They want to see how it plays out. Okay, if that side wins, then yeah, I'm with that. But if that side wins, I'm going there.
And that's all I've ever heard Tommy Robinson actually say, is that never mind racism and division, we just need to address the problem with illegal immigrants. And I think it's hard to disagree with that one point. So on that point alone, I agree with Tommy Robinson.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, I never thought, if I look back on my younger years, my younger me listening to me now is like, whoa, don't say that, you mad head. What are you saying that for? Nah, bro. But,
I agree.
As I'm growing up, I've got a child, I've got a 6-year-old daughter. I've got to vote. I've got to think. I've got I've got a job. I've got to think about these things. I've got to think about I'm a support worker for youth homelessness. That's what I do day to day. Like I have a duty. I see what happens on the bottom level. I see the struggles people are facing, and it affects me. And I have a duty to somewhat be brave and courageous, like Tommy Robinson is. But maybe not quite to put myself out there as the way he does, but without being brave enough to say what you're thinking, you're not brave enough to do anything to make change.
Well, they've just Keir Starmer today has labelled
I don't like that man's face.
grooming gangs is now far right.
Grooming gangs.
So now talking about grooming gangs and jumping on the bandwagon about the grooming gangs is far right.
You haven't dragged me here to make me far right, have you?
You're far right, bro.
What?
Social.
Wait, I go. Whoa.
Yeah.
So just saying that makes you
Speaking about the problem of it is far right. And Jessie, what's her name? Jess Phillips, is it? The girl who kind of overlooked it all. She's done 100 times more than Tommy Robinson ever did on grooming gangs. Yet she didn't prosecute them at the time she was supposed to.
Sorry, could you go back with me on that? Because so today,
Yes.
Keir Starmer has enforced what? His opinion, or just?
I'm sure you know.
I don't understand that.
Politicians, i.e. politicians, who sat in government for many years, are casual about honesty, decency, truth, and the rule of law, calling for inquiries because they want to jump on a bandwagon of the far right. And that affects politics because a robust debate can only be based on the true facts.
So it's not that we say it's not the true fact, and the fact people are talking about grooming gangs is far right.
Well, I'd like to say I am not concerning myself in any conversation about inquiries because I don't know the ins and outs of those conversations. Jesus,
You seem quite scared, bro.
I am, bro.
Why?
I just feel a bit.
What are you scared about? What the like he did in the last?
God, actually, imagine that. Brown Benji's on the far right.
Bro,
They kicked me out.
bro, listen.
I'm not allowed to be far.
None of us are far right, bro. That's
Is it-
the joke of it.
Oh,
None of us are far fucking right, mate.
oh God.
God's sake. It's just a gun. It's like the gay gun. You gay boy. Gay boy. That's what it's literally like, bro. Remember back in the day? Gay boy. Yeah,
You're gay.
Yeah, bro. That's what it's like, bro. Honestly. it's
Well,
crazy.
that's a very good analogy. That's quite funny.
Yeah, so you were talking about fucking Vibes Cartel,
Oh,
bro.
bro. So this is another tricky topic because Vibes Cartel did 13 years in prison in
criminal.
Jamaica for murder.
Criminal.
He's a criminal. However, his conviction was overturned in the High Court in Britain, and he is released as a free man with no conviction. So,
Why though? How? Is that Keir Starmer again?
well, I'd like
Is
to
that Keir Starmer?
throw my 2 pence in.
Go.
I think that the Jamaican government could see that if they released him, he could give them a lot of money. Because he donated 25 million US dollars, I believe, from his concert, his Freedom Street release concert, to back into the government for the communities. Just a little thing to note. But anyway, I love Vibes Cartel. Yeah, I love Vibes Cartel.
He's got a massive head to his body, though, haven't he?
Well,
That's
he's
his
got
illness.
Graves'
Yeah,
disease.
yeah.
So he's but he did a 3 or 4 hour concert. He
Fair
brought
play.
out popcorn, spice. He brought everyone out, bro.
We're in a bit of a beef with him again, though.
Popcorn and Scatter Burrell had a little back and forth, but that's irrelevant. Let's not talk about beefs. And Vibes Cartel came out. He did Freedom Street concert on New Year's Eve. I locked in. My missus was in bed. She wasn't feeling great. Obviously, she had a rough time over Christmas and New Year. I locked in on YouTube. I found a stream for it, and I sat there with my speakers on, had a little drink, smoked a cigar, and bro, it was banging. I danced in my seat, and I was singing along all night, bro.
Yeah.
It was such a good concert. I was
Was it
so
really?
impressed. Yeah, it was. It was really good.
How much were the tickets for that?
I don't know, but
I heard they were ridiculous, really.
they were fairly expensive. Obviously, there's different levels to because it was in the Jamaican National Stadium,
Wow.
and it was like sold out. But I genuinely considered taking out a loan back in like October to get plane tickets and tickets to the concert. And my girlfriend was like, don't be so silly. You put yourself in debt. Should have done it, shouldn't I? Should have done it. Done, no. Would have been out there, Kingston town, like,
She'd have been ill in bed.
yeah,
Days.
I know it is. She left me to watch it on my own, but it was wicked. It was wicked. Big ups Vibes Cartel. I just thought it was a great concert, and I've seen the voice notes that convicted him originally.
Yeah, what? Where did they execute a geezer? Did they film it or something?
Yeah, the evidence was quite compelling. It was literally him saying, you stand here and do this, and then, do you know, I don't want to go too deep in it, but the evidence was quite compelling. However, the court of law says that there wasn't enough evidence to keep him there. They overturned his conviction. He is a free, innocent man. He did not do that murder. Vibes Cartel is an innocent man. He did not murder anybody. He is an innocent man. He was wrongly convicted and spent 13 years of his life in a Jamaican prison while he had Graves' disease and couldn't get no medication. That man is an innocent man. Big up Vibes Cartel. Gaza for life. Yeah, Gaza for life.
Man,
Yeah, man, it was so good. So good.
bro, fucking off. Will he be doing another tour soon? Or?
Yeah, he's in the UK this summer now.
Well, I'll be mad then.
He's doing a show in
Bare trouble.
Germany. He's going on the road. Like,
Yeah.
I can't remember which festival it is. I think it's Wireless Festival.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get down there for that.
That'd be crazy. Did you ever perform at Wireless?
Not Wireless, no. They did all the other big ones though.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. So what else has been going on? What's going on? We've had some shit weather already. Yeah. Like I'm not
False
being
promises of snow. Did snow for a little minute, but
yeah, it was snowing in Newcastle. Weather's been shit, bro. But yeah, man, I think we got a lot to see. A lot's going to be happening, I think, in the next couple of days.
I'm fascinated with the landscape of politics at the moment. I think things are really interesting. And as much as I can see
I might run for reform.
for the local, why don't you?
Well,
I don't think of a better candidate.
well, yeah. Well, I was asked to go and run for Labour off Saeed. Shout out to Saeed as well, my brother.
You're better Kudgy as well, Ethan, isn't it?
Yeah,
Run for local.
Propel.
Okay.
With McAvoy, weren't it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't get it. It gave it to some geezer who
Doesn't care about
hasn't got a jar.
At least Kudgy.
It's like Fairwater, the Labour councillor we got. It's from London, bro. Work that out. Our councillor of our area does not live in our area. He is in a different country.
Yeah. That's mad.
So if I lose against this geezer, there's some serious issues.
Yeah. And I liked Kudgy's campaign. I was impressed. I was proud of him.
Yeah.
His slogan, "I am you." It's like you are as East Cardiff, as Tremorford and Splot and Penguin Green as it could be like. And
Yeah.
he did have good, he did have some good.
I think
options.
if anything, I think he might have started a bit too late.
Late. I think so. I don't think it's over for him. I think it's
No, just keep rolling.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
If he'd done that a bit earlier, I think, yeah.
And now that he's had a taste of it, like, just because you fail once doesn't mean, like, if you don't succeed,
You'll still validate
try-
Chris.
I think he should. And I don't live in Tremorford anymore, innit? I live in Newport. So, but my mum does, and I know my mum's disabled. She's not well, but I will drive my mum over to vote for him this time. Like
Well, I said to
I'm
him,
sure.
"Oh, where do I vote?" He went, "Oh no, from
yeah,
it's the area." I was like, "Sorry, bro, I didn't even know." That's how much I knew about politics. But like, I do feel like now more than ever, politics seems like a place that everyday people who was never interested could get involved and help.
You know why, bro? Because we're turning into our fathers and grandfathers.
We are indeed.
We're just growing older, and priorities change. Things become important that weren't important. Things become less important that were important.
No, I know, mate. It's 2025, bro.
I know.
Well, we got a lot going on. We've said a lot. We've tried to put a few things straight. I think we hold it out now, and
I want to come back though. I want to come back.
well,
Well, we don't know what's going to change and develop, innit?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the point, isn't it?
yeah. Look, we didn't really say much today, so I hopefully no one's really going to say nothing about it. But
Hey, listen, Duncan is going to listen to that poem back on repeat. You know he is. And Jan.
he's going to decipher it and find out what kind of gems will lead him back to Jay Slater.
And I was thinking earlier, because we've spoken about politics and our opinions on this and that,
He'll be like, oh, he's that kind of Tommy Robinson support. Well, it's like, fucking hell, dude.
But you know what? It's quite nice because some of the things that he said about me were true. And the stuff that was true didn't hurt my feelings. It was the stuff that was just nasty Duncan.
Oh, you've actually watched the videos?
Yeah.
I don't even watch them, bro.
I didn't watch
Give that guy any watch time. I just looked at the comments.
I went
I saw someone put on that Jan's views. The 100 views are from Cullen and AM, and I'm like, you really think I've watched this shower of shite? Anyway,
yeah,
look,
it is what it is.
love you all. I really love you, Jan, and I love you, Dunk, and I love all of your mates who comment as well. You know, but yeah, I think we see what goes on in the world in the next couple of weeks.
We'll reform the Cardiff Charlatans
Again. Well, let's see if they want us again. You know,
listen,
it was a bit more chaotic today. Was that our secret handshake?
that's the Mason shake, isn't it?
The Mason.
I've been waiting all podcasts to do that.
Is that it?
No, are you going to touch the knuckle?
Thumbnail.
Yeah. Squeal second is it? I don't know. I seen it on when I was looking at Amanda McCann case. Her dad does it, innit? With the Pope.
Yeah. These guys.
Only joking.
Make sure you hit the like button. Leave a comment. Do you think we're part of the Illuminati? Do you think we're involved in these cases? I love you all. Until next time, do us a favour, actually. If you want to see us again, make sure you put that in the comments. And also, tell us what you want us to cover. Tell us what you want us to talk about.
Give us topics. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
We're going to get that for show.
For sure.
Stay central.
What? It's too good to be true.
The Central Club.